Hi and welcome to my channel. It's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 6th of December, everybody. So let's have a look at what we have. We're right in the middle, so let's see if I can there we go. See if I can actually get a hold of it and get it to tear off without making too much of a mess. Oh, I've got one side there that's lovely, and I've got one side there that's not as good, but we have got a variety of colour today. Not that I was able to post the video from all black yesterday. The fact that it all filmed, but then the actual image on the memory card became corrupt and couldn't be read was so frustrating. But anyway, hopefully today will go better. It's one of those things that's a little bit hard to tell because that's never happened on my camera before, but we'll see how things go today. So I'm guessing a lot of the questions that I answered yesterday, I need to go through again today. So let's zoom in. We have got a bit more of interest on this one, so we'll zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing. I am starting with the black again as symbol number 1 because there is quite a bit of it and it does just give a little bit of definition and gives me a place to start. No matter what I'm doing, I can always just start on the black and then go from there. In fact, I might just do them in order today. So I might, every now and then I sort of change it up on how I'm doing it. Sometimes I go by, the symbol that seems the most prominent, or start from one corner and work up. I like to change it up. So I think today we'll just go in order. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 and then go through the alphabet. But yeah, yesterday's whip and chat, I am sorry about that. But I will make sure that I, discuss the sort of things I did discuss yesterday because, of course, none of you heard it. So yesterday, my hubby and I did nip out. It's the first time that I've been out in over a month, I'd say. And we did nip to get sort of a few little bits that we were after to finish off some Christmas presents that sort of need to be picked up from shops. And while my girls have been great at picking up bits for me, there were just a few bits that were outstanding. And we also wanted to pick up some lights for the conservatory. So in our conservatory we do have 2 main lights, and we did choose to get Wi-Fi bulbs for those, which is great. So we can tell Alexa to dim the lights. We can just turn on one. And it works out great for in there. I did put a lamp into the conservatory, but I haven't used it since we've been in there, so I did recently take that out. The lights seem to work for us exactly, but we did want some fairy lights up for Christmas. So it did take us a little while to find some because we wanted some that would be long enough to go round the bulk of the conservatory, but we also wanted them, I don't know why I'm doing that side because it gets shorter at the top. But we did also want them on white string because they'd be pinned to the white conservatory. We definitely did not want them to be black. So we got those, and the other week we did manage to get a couple of Wi-Fi plugs. Oh, it's great. So we have 2 plugs of which our Christmas lights are plugged into. So one for the tree and one for the lights that go around the conservatory. And it's great because I can just tell Alexa to make it Christmas and she turns on both sets of lights. I love it. It's the little things. The girls have got some light Christmas lights in their room and they've set it so that they come on at sunset. So it just turns on the lights automatically at sunset, but I like telling Alexa to make it Christmas. It's festive fun and I enjoy it. So I'm going to move straight on to number 2. But in turn, so I figured I would answer some sort of Christmas questions. And for a change, I have gone through quite a few diamond painting questions recently. And I will keep sort of mixing it up as we go along. But I have had a few questions in regards to holiday recipes or things that, like to cook at the holiday times, things like that. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint those that do like cooking, but I do not cook. I absolutely hate cooking, and therefore I don't particularly have any recipes at all. Sorry, I'm just checking. We've not got any number 3 or 4 or 5, so we'll go straight on to 6. So I don't really have any recipes or anything that I can pass on or give you hints and tips. It's just not my cup of tea. But my children often on Christmas Eve will bake mince pies, some with macaroon tops with their auntie. So they do get to enjoy some baking. The extent of my baking when they were younger was probably just some fairy cakes and let them decorate it. That's about as far as I go. They occasionally made a gingerbread house. I think we decorated a gingerbread house one year. But really, baking isn't my thing. And I don't think we particularly have anything that anybody in the family particularly bakes. My sister-in-law does an amazing Christmas dinner, and there is, she's absolutely fantastic at that. But I wouldn't say there's any specific recipe that she follows. So sorry, you're going to have to find your Christmas inspiration for recipes from somebody else. But it's not my cup of tea. So what else? What does the holiday season look like where you are? And do you have any sort of family traditions? So for that, I figured I'd sort of run through what we do over the Christmas period. So Christmas Eve is a normal working day in the UK. Many places do close early because it's Christmas Eve, but that does vary from company to company. And within my company, there are, more holidays potentially available. So they do try and give as many people as they can holidays and limit the staff, but we do remain open. So there does need to be somebody working for the full shift. I am lucky to get Christmas Eve off this year. I'm not sure what we will be doing. If the children do make mince pies with their auntie, they may do it at our house. They may do it at my sister-in-law's. I don't even know if that has been decided yet. The children are a lot older, so things can sort of happen when they happen a bit more. I'm not sure if my daughter and or son are working on Christmas Eve either. My eldest won't be because it will be school holidays, and my husband is, though he may get a bit of an early start. Time will tell. But Christmas Eve evening, it used to be that my husband and his siblings would go to the pub to enjoy the festivities quite often, but I don't think that will be happening this year. But one thing we definitely do and will still be happening is the children do get their Christmas pyjamas, which we've done for at least 10 years, if not more. In fact, probably more, if I think back to the pictures, because that tends to be the only time that I can get all 4 children for definite to take a picture. So they all sit together once they've got their Christmas PJs on. I get to take a picture, of which I have to take quite a few to get one with them all looking. And then we take a few goofy ones as well. and then we phone my family who live in Australia. And when we phone them, it is their Christmas morning. So I have one niece and two nephews in Australia, and they're all quite young. So you can imagine it's a little bit of chaos when we call, but it's our little bit of Christmas madness on Christmas Eve. We phone one or two households, depending on 1, 2, or even 3 households, depending on the time of the morning and where everybody is, and see what they've all got for Christmas, have our Christmas chat. Occasionally we will speak to them again on our Christmas Day, but more often than not we do a lot of the hellos on Christmas Eve. It seems to work. All our children are, available and awake. The time zones work and things like that. Because otherwise our Christmas morning can sometimes be quite hectic. It's a little bit easier now the children are older. But Christmas morning, the children will wake up and open their stockings. Now their stockings are filled by Santa and have always been filled by Santa. The presents that they have are always from Mum and Dad. Now, occasionally there will be family member ones under there, but more often than not, under the tree is just the presents from Mum and Dad, and that's the way it's always been. Santa just fills their stockings. And we will then go to my sister-in-law's, where they will get all the presents from family. Now, the presents that we open at home, they each go up and pick one present, similar to what I did as a child. Each person will open a present at a time. So somebody goes up and picks, and whoever's present that is, they get to open it. And that will just continue until all the presents have gone. Whereas when we go to my sister-in-law's, we do it the way my husband did it as a child. And there is a pile of presents that Santa has sorted out and stamped with this magic stamp, so they're allowed to be opened. And everybody just free-for-all opens their presents. Now they're older, we do tend to sort of watch one person open all their presents in turn, though occasionally there will, depending on how many people have arrived, and in our case when all 4 children arrive, they will tend to open a lot of theirs together. Your eyes are darting all over the place, but we enjoy it. We then have Christmas dinner at my sister-in-law's and watch the Queen's speech, which is a very British thing. Watch the Queen's speech, and then the afternoon could be anything from playing games, jigsaws, having a nap. It all really varies, but it works for us. And then, try not to make too much of a mess. And then the following day is called Boxing Day in the UK. A lot of sales start on Boxing Day. We don't go shopping on Boxing Day. I don't believe stores should be open on Boxing Day myself. So I don't think it's fair to then go and descend on all the shops. There's enough places that you can order online now, especially if you do want something that you know is on sale, and then it can be packed as and when workers are back in work. I'm not sure if the warehouses are back in Boxing Day, but I believe Boxing Day should be off for most, if not all, workers. When I say most, of course there are healthcare and emergency services that can't, but I believe all shops should be closed on Boxing Day. I think people should be able to enjoy Christmas, not just as one day. So we don't tend to go shopping on Boxing Day. We tend to use that day to explore gifts we've got more. So whether it be opening and setting things up. When the kids were younger, it used to be a Lego day. A Lego or an arts and crafts, depending on what they got. I loved it when they got Lego. We just we just sit in our PJs and have a bit more of a chill day. Occasionally we'd go to a party on Boxing Day if somebody put a party on and it'd be buffet style, but more often than not, Boxing Day was our day at home. Enjoy those presents, tidy up the presents, put them away, you know, all that sort of stuff. That's what we personally like to do. And yeah, it just, after a busy day the day before, it's a nice way to sort of calm down and actually appreciate what you've been gifted. And I don't want to deal with the madness of any Boxing Day sales for definite. So yeah, that's pretty much what our Christmas looks like. Our New Year is quite quiet. My sister-in-law did used to host a party a few years back, and that was absolutely fantastic, but I think it just got too crazy, and she was doing a lot of hosting over the season, which I completely understand. So now quite often I opt to work on New Year. It doesn't bother me. I would much rather spend Christmas with family than New Year. So I often work New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And we tend to play games as a family. Maybe have a drink or two. It really depends on how we feel, but we tend to play games till midnight or so. And then depending on how tired people are, depends on whether we finish the game or whether we just wish everybody a Happy New Year and go to bed. But yeah, that's our sort of Christmas. A few little traditions mixed in there, but nothing huge or elaborate. I don't think, anyway. It may be a bit different to the way you guys celebrate Christmas and may seem that way. Somebody did ask whether we have a big meal on both holidays, on Christmas and Thanksgiving. I know I did discuss this in first or the second video that I did, but we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in the UK. It's an American, and in turn I found out a Canadian thing, though Canadians or Canada celebrates Thanksgiving in October. So yeah, we just have one big meal at Christmas, and a nice big meal it is too. I actually need a few more 8s than I thought I did. I'm quite liking this way of working. It sort of pulls it together a little bit different. I just hope I don't end up missing any and have to go back. What else have we got for Christmas? So we have got what are you doing for Christmas? Any holiday stories? I don't know that I have particular stories. Christmas probably just follows the same sort of pattern for us, really. It can vary from time to time. We did try an alternative Christmas dinner one year at my sister-in-law's and attempted a barbecue. It was nice, it was different, but we did decide that we much preferred the standard Christmas dinner and went back to that the following years. Do we have any C? No, but we have D. Oh, I might get to finish off the last few extras of this 3371. Oh, that one's tiny. I thought it looked a bit smaller. I've got a tiny little diamond. We'll take that out. See if I can get these last few in, and then I'm back on the one pot. I'm kind of wondering what this is now. This is what I like about these mystery paintings. You never exactly know what it is. Okay, so I have used all my extras of 3371, so I'm into the standard pot now. Progress. We are getting somewhere. It'll be amazing when I finish one pot. Ooh, that one's a bit small as well. When we end 1 pot of the black. I've still got 3 full pots of black. So I think that one's going to be going for just a little bit longer. Okay, what other Christmas ones have we got? So somebody has asked about favourite childhood Christmas memory and favourite adult memory. I don't know that I have anything in particular that springs to mind. I did enjoy Christmas as a child. I do remember as a child being informed about, I'm trying to word this carefully in case there's any children listening. When we were informed about a certain person, I do remember that. I do remember coming home, and as a child, Santa would put the presents under the tree. So there would be no presents under the tree until Santa had visited. I do remember coming home one evening on a Christmas Eve, and that had all changed. And that's when we were told that things were slightly different to the way we thought. And that is probably my strongest Christmas memory. Whereas for my children, Santa behaves a little bit differently, and I think Santa does behave differently in each family according to what they may have discussed with the parents. And in our house, presents have always been under the tree because presents are from Mum and Dad, and Father Christmas or Santa stamps the presents, which allows them to be opened on Christmas Day, and he fills the stocking. That is what Santa does when he visits. And that is still the case now. With my children now range from 17 to 24, and they have never been told any different. So I don't know how different it was for them. Maybe that's something that I should ask them. But even now, they have to play along. And that is the way that it works in our family. We've never done any different. And it never seems to have been an issue. But then again, we never know. Okay, so day 6 is finished. Oh look, the colours are well different here to they are up here. I'm guessing there's some sort of shading that goes on round here near number 17, but we're not going to find that out for a few days. Tomorrow we go up to the top, so we're going up to 17. I'm expecting quite a bit of black. Does look like there's quite a few number 1 symbols, but it does look like we have some others there. It's not all black like it is across this bottom row, so that should be interesting. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Do please keep your questions and things coming down below so that I have things to answer to the best of my ability throughout these whipping chats. And I will speak to you all again soon.